deep, way down the left side, way downfield, and it's caught for a touchdown! Touchdown! A marvelous catch! What a catch!
Whoa! Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below, or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, this draft here coming up is going to, give us a little insight to quite possibly the future of Saquon Barkley, especially after this season coming up. All right, we got the killer bees. All right, we got Brightwell, Barkley, Breida, right? The killer bees, and then we also have Antonio Williams. So of course Breida and Williams got brought over. They got the familiarity with Shane and Dable. All right. We also got Sandro. Love saying this dude's name. Sandro Platzgummer coming back. He's like the international. I forgot there was exactly what it is, but the Giants were picked every year to have like a guy come from he comes from Europe. And he's playing. This will be his third year trying out for the Giants. He didn't make it the other 2 years, but we'll have to wait and see. But I just love saying his name. So we have him until he probably doesn't make the team once again. But then maybe we'll see him again next year. Anyway, if we do take a running back, all right, there's no way in HEL double hockey sticks it's in the first round or second round. There's nobody. We got so many holes to fill. We got 5, unless we do trade back, right, which is always a possibility, but we got 5 in the top 81. Okay, now, out of those 5, running back we do not need. We could use maybe some wide receiver depth. We can use a tight end. We can use an edge rusher, safety, cornerback, offensive lineman. We do not need a running back. Don't need a quarterback. Actually, if there's a really good stud wide receiver, but we don't need a running back. If we do take a running back, it would probably be, from like 4th round on back. All right. But, it might be, if we do, take one in like the 4th round or so, then quite possibly it might be the last season for Saquon. Because we have, next season we do have a nice amount of cap money. We do get rid of some guys like Leonard Williams and Adoree Jackson and Kenny Galladay. If we get rid of some of those guys, be some dead cap money there. But if we get rid of like those 3 guys, especially if we don't sign Daniel Jones, if we don't re-sign Dexter Lawrence, if we don't re-sign Saquon Barkley, we're going to have well over $100 million to spend. We could bring in a couple nice guys. So we could re-sign Saquon, if possible, but I don't know exactly how much money we're going to wind up wanting to spend on him. Because we brought in Breida, and if we draft someone, Saquon might be the odd man out. Now you got what's Saquon going to want? Well, Ezekiel is making $15 million, but he signed that contract a few years ago. Alvin Kamara, if he's going to play ever again, we'll have to wait and see. He's going to spend some time in jail. Anyway, he's making 15. Christian McCaffrey, he's making 16. I don't know. Where the guy gets hurt, I don't. Anyway, then you got so what's Saquon going to want? Dalvin Cook. Actually, it's kind of funny because the Giants went to Georgia. James Cook, Dalvin's younger brother. Giants, what I was reading, just really seemed to like him. But Dalvin Cook's making $12.6 million. Derrick Henry's making $12.5 million. I got Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, and Nick Chubbs. They're all making around $12 million. Somewhere along the line, sooner or later, somebody was going to step in and raise the bar. Now I don't know if that's what Saquon's looking at. You can set the bar whatever you want, but you're only worth what somebody's willing to pay you. Not I don't know if he's going to try to set the bar at like 17. I mean, when healthy, in a good offensive system that can use him, and they can get him in space and all that and everything. If he stays healthy, he's all that. Good in the pass game, can run. Not so much as good at blocking, but he can be very dynamic in the run game, as we have seen. Very good in the passing game. So I don't know what he's going to want, but he might price himself out of the Giants, price range. Now, I don't know. I mean, if he wants, I can't possibly see this. If he wants 10 million, 10 to 12, maybe the Giants consider it. I don't know, but once again, I mean, if they wind up if they draft somebody in like the third or fourth round or so, I don't see how they could possibly bring Saquon back. He might have just, he just might price himself just out of the Giants, price range, Last year, Singletary, right, for the Bills, right, he led the team, it's what is Dable, and Kafka, what are they going to, the kind of offense they're going to kind of think up. I mean, last year, Singletary played in all 17 games for the Bills. He ran the ball 188 times all year. He was their leading rusher. He averaged 11 carries a game. He's a third rounder. This year coming up, he's making $2.8 million. Now they have a few guys on their roster, and Singletary's making 2.8. There's a couple other guys making like a little over $1 million. So they do not, put a big, issue on having a top-rated running back. I mean, helps having Josh Allen there. Don't get me wrong, and let's not forget Stephon Diggs. Okay, but if Josh Allen is. There's not many Josh Allens out there. But I mean, if you look same thing with the Chiefs. Kafka's coming over. I mean, they don't run the ball a heck of a lot either. I mean, they got Patrick Mahomes still. Let's not forget. And they had Tyreek Hill. They got Travis Kelce. So they got some great quarterbacks, some great receivers. But how much emphasis are they going to put on the running game? I mean, do they need somebody? A running back is going to cost them maybe $15 million a year. I mean, the Giants, so the Giants are looking for someone in the draft. Who might their top targets be? All right. Well, I saw a report. That the Giants are in love with James Cook out of Georgia. He's the younger brother of Dalvin. Right. He doesn't have much power. Right, but he's got a lot of speed and very good in the pass game. He might go in the third or fourth round. Now, also, I got on here. This is from PFF. They got their top-rated guys and all. They got Kenneth Walker as their number one rated running back. He's their 51st rated guy overall. Okay, they got him possibly going in the second round. Okay, I mean he had a very, very good season last year. Very, very good. They said he went from a relative unknown to the best back in the country. He led all college football with 89 broken tackles this past season, including he had 20 broken tackles against Miami all by himself. In that game alone. All right, so I mean, He can lower his shoulder on one play, outrun a defender on another, and shake one on the next. He's all around dynamic player. He's a bell cow. All right. But then again, something like that. That's nice to have. Derrick Henry. But is that with the Giants? I mean, I think because the Titans have Derrick Henry, and so that's why I guess they sculpt their offense around Derrick Henry. I mean, because they don't have the most dynamic passing game. All right, so they run the ball more. But I mean, is that something that the Giants want? Kenneth Walker, who can be a bell cow. Possibly not. Plus, also, as I said, I mean, he's scheduled to go possibly in the second round, and that's ain't no way the Giants. I mean, because the Giants are taking early in the second round, so I don't even if it reaches them in the third round. I don't even know if they I mean, they got so many holes. They do not need a running back right now. So the next thing, I got Breece Hall. They got him as the 58th ranked player overall in college football. He's from Iowa State. All right. Hall they have here, he was the strongest ever in 2021. In fact, he raised his broken tackle total to 74. He broke 63 tackles the year before, so he's very good. He has an all-around skill set. He's 6'1", 220 pounds, very nice and solid. All right. They have, let's see. Him, he has a refusal to go down. He doesn't give up on runs and will churn his legs to the bitter end. More often than not, it takes multiple guys to bring him down. Right? Very low to the ground, powerfully built, okay? Once again, they have here, he's kind of like a bell cow. Is that something the Giants are looking for? Possibly not. But once again, they have him possibly going, early on, second round, possibly maybe third round. They say possibly third round for him. Now, is the Giants looking for something, somebody in the third round? I think if they take any, I mean, also they if they're in love with Cook, maybe pick 81. They take him, possibly. Damian Pierce from Florida. All right, they got him here. They got him possibly going in the fourth round. He said he didn't handle a massive workload because he split time in Florida, but he is very effective when he gets the ball. He had his 93.5 rushing grade. Okay, led the FBS. Okay, so he has a very good rushing grade. Let's see, he wins with strength. He consistently grinding out tough yards. He runs with great pad level, and it's rare to see him stuck in his tracks or on contact. Pierce isn't a limited player by any means, but given his history at the Florida, he's likely best suited for a timeshare situation in the NFL. So it's so if you have Breida and then you bring Pierce in, maybe they split time with one another. I mean, that's possible. I mean, they got him possibly going in the fourth round here. I think the fourth round. Right, so maybe that's something the Giants might look at. Possibly, fourth, fifth, sixth round. They don't have a seventh rounder, but then they got Tyler Algier from Brigham Young. They got him. He's the 95th ranked player. They got him possibly going maybe in the fifth round. Algier is one of the best bruisers at his position in the draft class. He's a no-nonsense running style and is perfect to translate to the NFL game. He averaged 4.2 yards after contact per attempt his college career. All right, so he's a bruiser. Is that something the Giants need? There is a guy that coming up that quite possibly would be like one of my favorite. But the next one they have is the 102nd ranked player, PFF. Okay, is James Cook. Okay, out of Georgia. I mean, half our team's from Georgia. Why not add him? I wouldn't complain. Yeah, him possibly going in the fifth round. So, fourth round comes around. Don't be surprised, all right? Cook is like a mini version of his brother Dalvin. I'll tell you what, boy. I absolutely freaking hate when you got somebody like Dalvin Cook is just a stud and the guy gets hurt. I absolutely freaking hate that. It is what it is. I mean, it's football. But man, I really, you know, I mean, you're cheating him, you're cheating the football fans. You know, I mean, if somebody like that, when a guy gets hurt, it's an absolute freaking shame. But I'll tell you what, so he's a mini version of his brother Dalvin. I mean, you get a mini version of Dalvin Cook, you got 2 thumbs up there, brother. He's big play waiting to happen when he gets the ball in space. In space. Okay, that's, you know, like get Saquon the ball in space and he can make stuff happen. He's 5'11", 190, so he's not really huge. Okay, but, you know, Cook is a mismatch in the passing game. Huge. Because he's far too nimble even for NFL linebackers. Anytime Georgia schemed up on one-on-ones for Cook, they were throwing the ball his way. So keep an eye out on James Cook. Keep an eye out on him, all right? Possibly the 4th round. Cook is the change of pace back who teams can get creative with. He can split wide and run routes or get vertical from the backfield. So that might be one of the reasons why the Giants kind of fell in love with him. All right, he can run the football, but he can run pass patterns, which is huge. And I also sort of Dable might try to get Saquon out wide, use him more as maybe say, frick, they just got Breida, bring Breida in, keep Saquon in the game, put him out wide, because you know there's a good chance between Kadarius Toney, Kenny Galladay, and Shep, one of those guys is going to be hurt almost every game. So, I mean, I'm hoping not, but with their proven history record of being hurt, there's a good possibility. So, I mean, Breida in the backfield, Saquon out wide, why not, right? But, I mean, so keep an eye on James Cook, especially maybe the 4th round. All right. Then we got Brian Robinson Jr. Okay, he's kind of from Alabama. All right, so you know the dude's coached well. All right. Then once again, he got him in the 5th round. He's kind of like a bruiser. Robinson is a 2-down thumper. Bring him in for a goal line and short yardage situation, but don't expect much more. All right. So yeah, they got Robinson as the 117th ranked player according to PFF. Right? They got him going in maybe in the 5th round. You know, good, tough runner, but don't expect, you know, a whole heck of a lot from him. So I can't see that. This guy here, Kyron Williams, right, from my school, Notre Dame. They're my favorite college. All right. Then you got great fit for teams that involve their running back a lot in the passing game. That would be him. All right. He's what is he? I mean, he's 5'9", 199. So, I mean, for 5'9", he's almost 200 pounds. You know, solid, but he's only 5'9", okay? It's not somebody you want to hand the ball off to and let him run into the line of scrimmage 20, 25 times. Although he did have a couple of nice games running for Notre Dame, though, too. But Williams wins in the passing game. Whether it's his work in pass protection or his natural hands, he makes an impact on passing downs. So that's huge for the Giants. At the very worst, he's a 3rd down back. He can be more than that, but he's a shoo-in to add value in that regard. So, all right. So I mean, keep an eye out on Kyron Williams. That's a possibility for the Giants. All right. You know, I mean, Kyron Williams, somebody who can run the ball, obviously, but it can be effective in the passing game. And if we get somebody, I said, like in the 4th round or the 5th round or so, you know, they're going to be like $1 million a year instead of paying Saquon 12 to 15 to 16, maybe 17. I'm not sure what he's going to be asking for. It's going to be very interesting to see. But instead of paying, you know, Saquon that much money, you bring one of these guys in on the cheap. You got him for 4 years, right? That just might be the way the Giants wind up kind of going. I mean, there's a bunch of other guys. I mean, PFF, they got here. James Cook is their 102nd ranked player on their board, right? From James Cook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. From player 102 to the 174th ranked player, 70 two players there from 102 to 174. They got 14 running backs in there. So I mean, it's depth throughout the whole. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, somebody obviously getting in the 5th or 6th round, is not going to be obviously somebody as good as in the 2nd round. You're not going to get somebody in the 6th round maybe quite as good as Kenneth Walker. But I mean, what the Bills did not place that much of an emphasis on the running back, right? Except for maybe in the passing game. So I mean, the Giants might look for somebody, obviously, who can run the ball, but who can, it can be big in the passing game. So that's quite a possibility. You got to remember the way the game's changing. The passing game. I mean, you got more and more wide receivers. I mean, there's going to be quality depth throughout the whole draft. Wide receivers. It's the same thing with running. I mean, you got schools that run the ball a lot. Yeah, but more and more, you got schools, running backs who can run the ball, but they have to be involved in the passing game as well too. I mean, it's huge. I mean, so you're going to get some good depth throughout the draft as well too with the running backs. And I said, the way the Bills, ran the ball, their leading runner last year averaged 11 and played every game, averaged 11 carries a game. I mean, that's like barely 3 carries a quarter. I mean, so they're not putting a lot of emphasis on the running game. So might be the same thing here with the Giants too. So the Giants, might look to pick somebody up maybe in the 4th round, maybe the 5th round for a running back. And if they do, and they put him in there, might be Saquon's, his time might be over. Now, another thing I also heard, as I said, as far as with the quality depth, last year there was about a little over 750 guys eligible for the draft. Okay. This year, because with the virus going on and so many guys opted out of the 2020 season because of the virus, I can't blame them. My mother passed away from the virus, so I totally understand. So instead of there being an even amount of guys in the draft last year and this year, that's not the case. Last year, I heard there was over 750 last year, all right, who were eligible. But because so many guys opted out because of the virus, they came back in 2021. There's over 1,000 guys this year who are eligible for the draft. So, I mean, even if we don't draft somebody, right? I mean, there's going to be a boatload of guys left. I mean, as far as like wide receivers and running backs and, a boatload of guys that'll be, undrafted college free agents, if you will. So, I mean, we'll have plenty of opportunity to draft a running back or get one after the draft's over. But it'd be very, very interesting. I think if the Giants, opt in and draft a running back, 3rd, 4th round, somebody kind of high like that, that just might be signaling the end of Saquon Barkley. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time any day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!